How much would you pay to have your favorite artist perform right in your living room?
You know, I have fantasized about this kind of thing for years, but a 28-year-old man here in D.C. is using Kickstarter to make the fantasy come true. He's raising 30 grand to get Kenny Loggins to come to his house. Now, according to the D.C.ist, Erick Sanchez launched his campaign just yesterday. He's already got more than $1,000.
And now we want to update you on a story we brought you earlier in the week. A D.C. man is trying to raise $30,000 so he can host a private living room concert with Kenny Loggins.
Will he bring the danger zone to your home? A Washington, D.C. man has launched a Kickstarter campaign. I hate that phrase, launching a Kickstarter campaign, to have Kenny Loggins play in his living room.
It's starting. Oh, it's already started.
So before we talk about our campaign, somebody beat us to the punch. Erick Sanchez is a huge Kenny Loggins fan, but he needs some help to see Kenny live. And we're not talking about buying a ticket to the Birchmere.
That's right. Cut loose. 28-year-old Erick Sanchez starting a Kickstarter campaign.
One man in D.C. is using an online fundraising platform with hopes of bringing singer-songwriter Kenny Loggins to his living room.
Kenny Loggins is busy on tour, but is sent us his statement saying, quote, "We were blown away when we learned some fans created their own separate Kickstarter campaign to raise money on our behalf. How cool is that? And if they reach the goal, we'll be more than happy to sing in their living room."
Sanchez didn't want us to reveal his exact location, except to say that we're in the Eastern Market area.
28-year-old Erick Sanchez is attempting to raise $30,000 for a 75-minute acoustic concert with Kenny Loggins in person.
Erick Sanchez, right here of Washington, D.C., is a huge fan of Loggins.
28-year-old Erick Sanchez has turned to Kickstarter to make his dream come true.
Erick Sanchez, he says he's a huge fan of Kenny Loggins.
A D.C. resident named Erick Sanchez, who started his own...
28-year-old Erick Sanchez started...
7 o'clock. Erick Sanchez of Washington, D.C. is a huge fan of Kenny Loggins.
Erick Sanchez, if that's his real name, says for 30 grand, Loggins and a few friends will fly to his home and play a 70-minute acoustic and very desperate set.
We checked with the city. The zoning office says a permit may be needed and fire code regulations followed. Sanchez just hopes other fans can meet him more than halfway.
We're almost in the danger zone fundraising-wise, so I hope we get all the way there.
Had a ton of fun with it, and it's just been a great journey.
Sanchez admits he doesn't have the average music taste of a 28-year-old.
Kenny Loggins, Lionel Richie, Hall & Oates, Michael McDonald, all the folks that I joke you'd hear in your dentist's office, which is why I've been saying that my dentist is my DJ.
That man, Erick Sanchez, spoke with the soft rock legend via Skype this morning.
Campaign.
I wouldn't be upset if I heard, you know, maybe I'm all right, a little footloose.
A fan of yours in D.C., I don't know if you heard about this, started a Kickstarter. He's trying to raise $30,000 to get you to come and perform at his home. Have you heard about this?
Yes, I have.
And, I mean, have you been keeping tabs on this?
Yeah,
and, like,
we Skyped the other day. Erick Sanchez.
Is this going to happen?
If he raises $30,000.
$30,000?
This is funny. It's taken a while, but after years of searching, I finally come across a Kickstarter campaign I might really be able to get behind. A young man in Washington, D.C. has launched a campaign called I Want Kenny Loggins to Play in My Living Room.
To have the Kenny Loggins come and play in his living room.
Joining us now from the very living room in which Kenny Loggins might soon play, please say hello to Erick Sanchez, who is the...
It's amazing. It's amazing. So he mentioned the guy. His name is Erick Sanchez. Erick joins us right now. Hey, Erick.
How's it going, guys? Good to see you, Harvey. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, good to have you.
Sanchez has high hopes of making his goal within the next 15 days, but says whether he makes his goal or not, he knows he will always have the support of his friends and family.
I saw Kenny Loggins way before it became cool to see Kenny Loggins, so I'm not on this whole hipster trend of Kenny Loggins fan.
Now, how old a gentleman are you?
I'm 28 years old, but musically, I think I'm like 30 years older than I actually am. I like to say that my dentist is my DJ.
Over the weekend, so it's really kind of blossomed into this really organic thing, and at this point, we're now, I believe, approaching $7,000.
So why should I give you 10?
How much money have you raised so far?
We've raised about $7,500, but we still have about 18 days left at this point.
You still have 18 days left, so you're off to a very strong start. What do you...
We say to him, hey, a fan of yours in D.C. is trying to raise $30,000 on Kickstarter to get you to perform at his house.
Is this going to happen?
If he raises $30,000.
$30,000.
And he's already raised over $12,000 thanks to the magic of online begging.
Eric, what will you do if Kenny comes to your living room and refuses to leave? What if he squats your living room and will not leave?
I mean, I wasn't planning on a roommate, but I got to tell you, Kenny Loggins wouldn't be. I'd be all right with it. I mean, as long as he would meet me halfway on rent, I think that'd be just fine. Tier for $750, you have a guaranteed seat in the show, a special limited edition T-shirt, and I will make my household famous guacamole for you to enjoy during the show.
Are you ready?
We'll give it a try.
Okay. Finish.
I'm excited that you even know who he is, if I can be really honest.
I always tell people, at least musically, I'm like 30 years older than I actually am.
Okay.
So, and I like to say my dentist is like my DJ at this
I know,
point.
we heard that.
Any song, even though we ain't got
money, I'm so in love with you.
All right, he knows what he's doing. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. All right.
TMZ, Jimmy Kimmel, and dozens of news operations around the country are turning their attention to this man.
All right, how you doing?
Because of this man.
It's a wonderful thing.
Wow, so Kenny has actually donated to the Kickstarter campaign that will fund his Kickstarter campaign. It's becoming very meta. This is like, it's like Inception or something. How many people...
From Gawker to DCist to Jimmy Kimmel Live, Erick Sanchez has been footloose.
I don't know if this was mentioned to you earlier.
Yeah.
Kenny and I actually had a Skype meeting on Saturday.
Oh, my God.
And about a week and a half ago, my greatest accomplishment was finding 2 matching socks.
All right.
So I'm kind of blown away by this.
Why do I now feel sorry for Kenny Loggins?
Well, thanks to some hard work, a young man will be rocking out to a free concert with his rock superstar, Kenny Loggins.
Skype meeting was, and I was like, I think we might be onto something. I think we might be able to actually, like, hit this mark.
Now, Erick Sanchez raised more than $30,000 on the site so far in hopes of getting Loggins.
Well, finally at 5, a Washington, D.C. man getting a little footloose.
Yeah, that's right. He helped Kenny Loggins raise more than $30,000 online.
Thanks to some hard work, a Kenny Loggins fan will be rocking out to a free concert.
I think he transcends music. He has the voice of an angel, and I think he would be absolutely perfect for my living room.
Erick Sanchez raised more than $30,000 on the site.
Well, Loggins' goal was reached earlier this week by Erick Sanchez of Washington, D.C. He raised...
Well, thanks to some hard work, a young man will be rocking out to a free concert with his rock superstar friend Kenny Loggins.
28-year-old Erick Sanchez started a Kickstarter campaign and helped Loggins raise $30,000.
With 8 days to go on his Kickstarter campaign, a man has already reached his goal to have, you ready for this? Kenny Loggins play right in his living room.
Strange request here, but Erick Sanchez, he's raised more than $30,000 on Kickstarter. He hopes to use that money to have...
Mark. Now, Loggins will play Sanchez's living room, though the details are under wraps.
What's the takeaway?
The takeaway is this: if you have a crazy idea, just go for it. You can definitely just make a difference and hopefully have fun along the way.